What's up, you guys? Hello and welcome to, let's see, it's Tuesday, September 1st. I can't believe it's already September. Like, it feels
like it's still summer. It's so hot out.
I want to do this video because I don't know if this channel is gonna change gears a little bit, but it might. Basically, you guys know I've been through a lot with my health. I'm actually gonna get a camera stand because this is like killing my arm. 1 second. So I guess today I just want to kind of talk about my gluten symptoms, my gluten and dairy symptoms that I had. So from all the research I've done, I obsessively, Nicholas, calm down. My animals are so crazy. I obsessively looked into, we may have to go outside because this is just not happening. But I looked into, okay, so we don't have Nicholas, but we still have the dogs. But I went through my first panic attack in 2018. It was like March 25th of 2018. And my world was rocked. Like, I remember, I don't even remember what I ate that day. I don't remember a whole lot. I just remember that, you know, it was a normal day. I was doing my makeup and I was listening to, I wonder if the book is actually still on the same spot that I left off on. Let me check. I was listening to the Rachel Hollis book because everyone made such a big deal about it. I was listening to the Rachel Hollis book. I forget the name of it, but it's in here somewhere. And I was listening to that, and she was talking about like adopting her kids and how it was like such a struggle. And right around that part, I don't even know if it's in here anymore. Oh, here we go. Girl, wash your face. Which I don't know. I have my own thoughts on her book. I'm a very different person now than I was then, but even then I didn't really enjoy the book, but that's a whole other thing. No shade on Rachel Hollis, I don't know. Anyways, that's beside the point. I like to keep these videos positive and uplifting and helpful, but maybe it's helpful because it's gonna save someone some money from buying that book. But anyways, I was listening to her book. I was really into self-development at the time, and I got so dizzy, and I was doing my makeup, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to lay down. But then it was like different than just being dizzy. Like, it was vertigo, which scared me, but there was like another level on it where it was like I started to feel like out of touch with reality. I felt like so much pressure in my body and my brain. I had a migraine, and I called my mom and I was like freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to go to her house. Like, I don't know what's going on with me. I've never felt like this before. It kind of felt like the head pressure of a flu. And then like body aches, I had chills. I just felt really unwell. And I had never experienced that before. And so it was really, really scary. And then they started like happening, you know, it was instead of just like once a week, it would go to twice a week. And then it started happening every day. And then the vertigo was just, it came and it stayed. So it felt like I was on a boat 24/7, and the room was spinning, and the walls were always like I've never done drugs besides the edible in Vegas. You guys heard about that story. But I've never done drugs, so I don't know what being on LSD was like, but if I were to imagine what it would be like this. I literally felt like the walls were just like always like moving, and it was hard to walk because I felt like the floor was moving like this all the time. So like when you're trying to walk, it's like, it's hard. Like, you have to concentrate so much on walking that you really can't concentrate on much of anything else. And so that was my life for the past 3 years. And gaining weight, no matter how much I tried to control my weight, how little I ate, whatever it was, I was gaining weight. And you guys can see it in my videos. Let me actually pull up my YouTube video. You guys can see, this is crazy. Someone pointed this out actually a couple weeks ago. But I want to talk about like my grain-free, gluten-free journey and the symptoms I had when I went off of grains and dairy. So I was gluten-free for a long time, but I was still swollen. And some of you have noticed that in my videos too. You're like, hey, you know, you looked really a lot thinner when you were doing all fruit, and then your face just like blew up. And it's the inflammation, you guys. Dairy and grains are super inflammatory. and I just recommend you do your own research on it. There's a book called Grain Brain, and then Peter Osborne, who's on here, you can look him up. He helped me a lot. You know, he doesn't even know who I am, but he helped me a lot with dealing with that. So here we go.
When they
this
say that it
was
stays
me.
in the gummy bear form, it doesn't. It literally, like, you see there's certain videos of doctors holding it up and it's like stretching out like slime, like a glue.
So
and
much
so,
different. Like, it's just night and day difference. And then I have a picture, and maybe I'll just post this on the screen, but I have a picture of even just 14 days ago was me on this side, and then I cut out dairy and grains and just really stuck with it. And look at the difference. Like, no more muffin top. I have like a tight stomach. Like, I haven't felt this way in so long, you guys. Like, this journey has just been so crazy. So let's talk about like what my symptoms were. Oh my god, what weren't they? I had like every symptom you could ever think of gluten sensitivity. I have a little chart, maybe I'll put that in the video too, but I have a little chart that says like common symptoms of celiac. Mine was a really strong neurological reaction. It started off as gut issues back in like the early 2000s, and I always just kind of brushed it under the rug, like, oh, you know, maybe it's just, I don't know, like something's just maybe not right with me. But like everyone else could eat whatever they wanted, and every time I ate, I was sick after I ate. Like, I'd either have diarrhea, throwing up. Eventually it got so bad I was having like projectile vomiting. It was just awful. And I just like stopped eating for a while because I didn't really know what I could eat. And I remember going through that trauma like years ago, but I think it really healed my gut because I went for like a year and a half, maybe even 2 years, where I was just eating like I was eating all carrots. Like, I didn't know what else to eat, so I was eating like just very basic. Like, I was eating fruits, carrots, and that's it. Like, I couldn't branch into other stuff because it was just, if I ate the wrong thing, I was just done. Like, there was no going to work that day. There was no, like, it was just really bad, and I needed to make money and earn money. And so back then it was like, you know what, just stick with what you know and you'll be good. So this time around with the neurological symptoms, I have never had a true crazy migraine until I went grain and dairy free. So day 1 was like okay, day 2 was fine, day 3 was like what hit me upside the head. I felt like my back, especially my neck and my upper shoulders, was just frozen. Like, it was locked. Like, I've never felt that much pain. Like, it hurt to even go like this. Like, I couldn't even like move my arms like this. It just hurt everywhere. It was so much pain. And then the neck pain, like severe neck pain in my scalenes, which are, your scalenes are on the sides of your neck. I had horrible pain in my scalenes. And then it started to radiate into my head, and it felt like my head was exploding. Like, I do not know how to articulate the pain I went through. Extreme anger, extreme irritability, like extreme hormonal issues. Like, I was a mess. I was crying. I felt like all sorts of crazy thoughts going through my head. Like, I felt depressed, felt worthless, like just crazy. And just in so much pain. My legs were like in pain. Everything was just in radiating pain. It felt like there was pain in my bones. Like, I kid you not, this was like how it felt for 4 to 5 days. And the weirdest symptom of all that was that I could not put together a sentence to save my life. And that's why I haven't really been on here too much, is because my brain just felt like it wasn't like, it was like misfiring. Like, you know when you're trying to put puzzle pieces in and it's like the lines just don't match up? That's how I felt. Like, I couldn't quite think of the word. I was trying to recall a word over and over again, and I couldn't think of the word. So it'd be like, even my name. Like, I had someone who I was on the phone with her, and she's like, how do you spell your name? And I was like, wait, is it a C? It's a C. Yeah, C-E? Like, I was confused, and I couldn't even like spell my own name when I was going through this. It was horrible. Like, the brain fog was like level 1,000,000. anxiety was like level 1,000,000. Like I just felt so crappy. And so if you are going through, you know, going off of grains and dairy and you start to experience this, you know, a couple days in, maybe right away, I don't know what it is going to be for you, but keep going, because I started to doubt myself and I was like, I don't know, maybe this is like, you know, this is pretty bad. But through my research, I found that grains and dairy actually mimic opioid receptors in the brain or something, and they plug into those receptors and they act as a drug in your body and on your mind. And so when you start to take them out of the diet, when you start to eliminate them from your diet, you can have some pretty weird symptoms. You can have extreme cravings, and it's just not fun. It was not fun. So the next thing that I did was I actually cut out coffee, because coffee mimics gluten. So I cut out pretty much everything, guys. Like I cut out rice, corn, anything with rice or corn, which includes a lot of my supplements. I stopped taking a lot of my supplements, pretty much all my supplements, to be honest with you. I do still use turmeric. I'm using a multivitamin that is grain, corn, soy, all of that free. You can get at Whole Foods. I forget the name of it. It's like in a green capsule. What else do I do? Oh, no rice. Okay, so look through all your supplements. Anything that comes in a package that's not like fruit, it's not basic, you know, it's not just fruit, it's not just whatever. You have to read the ingredients. No natural flavors, no artificial flavors. So no natural flavors, no artificial flavors knocks out pretty much anything that comes in a package. Again, I had to go to the extreme because I was having extreme neurological issues. So for me, I had to take this to the extreme. If your gut health is not as bad as mine, you may not need to do everything that I've done. But I'm just telling you what worked for me, because I was already gluten-free up to this point until I found Peter Osborne and learned that rice, dairy, coffee, I didn't know that corn can mimic gluten, so that was a huge learning curve for me. Cutting out the corn was huge, major for me. Same with rice. Like I react to rice so bad. I actually had wild rice last night, and he says that wild rice is fine, but I had such a reaction to wild rice, like extreme bloating, extreme gas. And like, I know that you guys are probably like, ew, this is so gross, but it was like constant burping and like weird burps. Like it was like from the pit of hell burps, like literally from deep in my stomach. It would like rumble my entire body. It was just, like, it was so gross. I just noticed like a lot of weird like combustion feeling, like things in my stomach. And then this morning I did have a little bit of a panic attack, which wasn't as bad as it normally is. Normally my limbs go numb, my hands and feet swell up, they turn red, all the veins stick out in them. It's really crazy, and I get like this tingling, like fibromyalgia, my back pain increases and the gas increases. Today was not that bad, it actually didn't last that long, but one thing I did notice is that my rings all slip off super easy. So going grain and dairy free, I've actually lost like, let me see how much weight I've lost. I was 135 and now I'm 120. So I've lost 15 pounds. So 15 pounds in just like under a month. And then the last 14 days I really dialed it in, and I got even more, you know, even more dialed and tuned into being grain and gluten free and really tracking what I'm eating and how does my body respond to it. So if you are going through this, my top 3 tips are track everything you eat and track how you feel, your mood after you eat, and then the day after you eat, because it can take up to 48 hours, even 72 hours for certain reactions to happen in the stomach. Take probiotics if your doctor clears it. I highly recommend working with a doctor. I'm not a medical professional, so take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, literally, like sea salt, pink Himalayan salt. I always say that. But take what I'm saying with a grain of salt and be your own advocate. So Doctors won't always order labs that you need because, you know, of expenses or because they don't think it's necessary. Had I not found out that I was hormonally imbalanced due to grain and dairy sensitivity, I would have continued to eat dairy because I didn't have any digestive issues with it. So I would have continued eating dairy. I would have continued having, you know, coffee in the mornings, even though I felt really awful after drinking it. Like, I'd feel more tired after drinking it than I would before I drank it. It was just more of a habit for me than anything else. And now I just do herbal tea. So I switched to doing herbal tea. I do organic herbal tea so I don't get any of the pesticides in it. And that's really my top tips, is be your own advocate. Taking probiotics, take things to help support your body, work with a really good doctor. I have like an itch. 1 second. Work with a really good doctor, or, you know, if you want to just start by trying a grain-free, dairy-free diet, don't eat anything packaged, processed, any of that. Start doing real vegetables, steam vegetables, cook the vegetables. You can do things like bone broth. You can do, like, you know, no grains, so you're not doing any rice, none of that, but you're doing like lots of meat, olive oil, things that are going to help repair the stomach lining. So there's something called polyphenols. You can definitely do a lot of research on that. Dr. Stephen Gundry talks a lot about that. I'm a huge fan of his work. When I did my biome lab test for my biome, they said that polyphenols are one of the best things that I could be eating, and they're just amazing. They're really good for anti-aging. And so, yeah, that's really what I wanted to say on here today. I don't really have like a ton to say, you guys. I'm like still kind of tired, still navigating through this. You know, I only cut coffee out. Had coffee yesterday just to see how I'd react, and I literally took a couple sips and threw up all over. My body just literally was like, nope, not today, Satan. So I'm not doing any coffee. So today I'm just kind of like bleh. But I did, so this morning I thought I only ran 2.5 miles, but check your girl out, okay? Look at this. I ran, this is me being consistent over here, guys. Like, I'm so proud of myself. I ran for 39 minutes and 59 seconds, so basically 40 minutes. I did 3.36 miles. So that was like an 11.52 minute mile, so like a 12-minute mile. I'm proud of myself. Like, it is these small wins. And today was a day I was super sore. I didn't feel like running, but I've been very, very consistent. So like for the last 25th, 26th, 27th, I missed the 28th, I did the 29th, I missed the 30th, I did the 31st and the 1st. So I've just been very consistent with running. It's something that helps me to clear my mind. I feel really good when I do it. I use this app. It's like just a running app. It's called Start Running, because I am not a runner. And so, I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm not a runner, but I didn't really know how to run. I wasn't really trained in how to run, you know, so this helps me to stay motivated, and it works. So I just want to give you guys some hope. If you are going through this, you know, work with a skilled doctor, or, you know, be your own best advocate. You can always try to make diet changes yourself before going to the extremes, but I will say I feel a million times more stable, steady, no panic attacks really for the most part. I just feel good throughout the day. So if you are, you know, dealing with anything where you're like, you know, I want to just have more energy, I want to feel better, feel my best, look my best, don't discount this. It works. So I hope you guys are having a great day. I will see you in the next video. Let me know what you guys want me to talk about in future upcoming videos. I'm going to be taking a step back from doing you know, just the faith videos and biblical videos, and do a mix of like everything. I really want to do a lot of lifestyle, like how I was doing before, especially about health, because it's just a really big part of my life right now. And so I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you understand this change. I still have Coco licking the camera. I'm still, you know, huge advocate for reading your Bible and really knowing the Word of God so that you can't be manipulated, and so that you have strength for every single day, and so that you can win your battles. So I hope you guys are doing well. I will see you in the next video. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.